Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and I've come after a long time. So today I'm going to talk about my top 10 winter fragrances. These are the fragrances that I've used the most in this season of winter or I'll be using till this season lasts. So my top 10 winter fragrances coming up right after this introduction. This is your host Shiv and you're watching The Scented Transformation. Welcome back, guys. So, out of this 10 winter fragrances that I've used the most this season, five fragrances will be cheap fragrances, or you can call it inexpensive fragrances. Three fragrances will be little affordable, or for some people, it would be little on the expensive side, and three niche fragrances. So, let's get started. My number 10 is from the house called Armaf. It's Armaf Signature True. It's a very pretty looking bottle. Rose gold and black combination is going well. Kind of magnetic cap. Distribution is quite well. Talking about this juice, this is a very less talked about fragrance in the community. There are a lot of Armaf fragrances which have got the hype, but this is not talked about that much on YouTube. So I'm going to talk about it now. Now, talking about the juice, it's a it's a very sweet fragrance, guys. If you are into sweet fragrances, you will really like this. It has got a very prominent note of strawberry, which is very rare to find in a fragrance. Very nice, very sweet. Certainly a unisex fragrance. It is very thick. It projects really well. It stays for a long amount of time on your skin and on your clothes. See, it will pierce through the cold in this kind of season. So if you like a sweet candy-like fragrance, you can definitely go for this Armaf Signature True. That is my number 10. Okay, my number 9 is from the house called Zara. It's Zara Vibrant Leather. A very classy looking bottle, guys. What can you expect from a bottle which costs only 1400 Indian rupees? Distribution is very well. Talking about the juice, it's a very classy juice, guys. Considering the price you pay for it, it is very classy. It will definitely stand you out from the crowd. It has got a note of incense, a very nice note of bergamot, oud, a very tiny bit of oud is there. Yes, I can definitely smell a tiny bit of oud in it. Very classy, very nice. You cannot go wrong with Zara Vibrant Leather Oud. Pretty decent fragrance. That's my number 9. Number 8. Number 8 is from the house called Armaf. It's Armaf Up Dinner with Intense Woman. What can I say about this fragrance? Claims to be a copy of Tomford Noir de Noir. And initially I thought I would not buy the original one, but I could not resist myself. So I went for the original one. This is the bottle. I'll just show you the bottle once. So this is the bottle. See, when you compare these two, damn, this is so close, guys. This is so magical how close this is to Tomford Noir de Noir. See, there's a huge difference of price when you compare these two. This is going to cost you around 1700 or 1800 Indian rupees, and Tomford gonna cost you around 15 to 20,000 Indian rupees. That depends where you buy from. Considering that it is 95% similar to now Tomford Noir de Noir. It's just that Tomford, yes, it's a very expensive perfume. So you get to smell a much more refined, a much smoother, a much better blended fragrance. But however, this one is very close. Has got a note of chocolate, rose, and saffron in it. Yes, the rose you smell here, it is You know, in India, we have, when you have hookah, you go to any hookah bar, if you order the hookah pan rasna or pan masala, you get that vibe, you get that smell. If you like that smell, you will love this, because this has got a vibe of pan masala kind of rose, pan rasna, pan masala kind of rose. So very nice fragrance, a very unique one, unisex. Yes, boys can pull it off, but make sure you dress up well to wear this fragrance. So that's my number 8. Okay, my number 7 is from the house called Riffs. It's Riffs Cafe Noir. I don't see people talk about this fragrance, guys. Riffs is a very, very underrated house. They have got very nice fragrances. They have got a clone of Shivasish. They have got a clone of Invictus. They have got pretty nice fragrances. Uh, it's a fresh, sweet fragrance. You can definitely smell the bergamot in it. It has got a fresh note of bergamot. There's a very sweet smell, a little bit of cedar wood in it. See, it's a very safe buy. If you're looking for something sweet, fresh fragrance, casual wear, you can definitely give it a go. Riffs Cafe Noir. That's my number 7. My number 6 and my last cheap or inexpensive fragrance is from the house called Zara. It's Zara. It's Zara Rich Warm Addictive. Guys, I love this. If you put this juice in a niche bottle and tell me to pay price for it, I'll pay anything to buy this bottle. This is so good. Not for everyone. I understand that a beginner, if somebody who has got into fragrance just now and who likes to smell, safe fragrances like Dior Sauvage or Versace Dylan Blue or Blue de Chanel, you find these fragrances nice because they are safe. Once you get little experienced with your nose, you will love this. Zara Rich Warm Addictive. It's a very, very, very niche like juice. I'm not kidding, guys. And the price you pay for it is nothing. It's 1200 rupees, Indian rupees only. Wow. Wow, wow. And look at the distribution, guys. Look at the very nice. What more can you expect, guys? A beautiful, beautiful note of dark chocolate, boozy note of rum. It's got a very unique note of coconut in it. It will keep you warm in the season of winter because it has got notes of that kind. It is rich, it is warm, as it says. It is so addictive, and it says that it's from the tobacco collection, but sadly I don't smell any tobacco in it. I don't know if anybody does, but however, it's a brilliant blend. It's a brilliant fragrance. That's my number 6, Zara Rich Warm Addictive. And that's my last inexpensive fragrance. Now let's get into my 3 designer fragrances. So with that, number 5 is from the house called YSL. And any winter list is incomplete without Lanvin alone. Cardamom Lavender. Sexy, powdery fragrance. That's it. I do not give a damn that this fragrance is reformulated. Yes, it stays for 2 to 3 hours max on my skin or on my clothes. Then it just goes away like that. But I don't care. I wear this for myself because this is such a nice juice. This is such a sexy fragrance. This is a compliment magnet. This used to be my favorite. This fragrance, to be honest, this fragrance is introduced to us by Jeremy. Jeremy Fragrance has always hyped this fragrance, and we all have bought it through him, through his recommendation, obviously. And this became my absolute favorite, but sadly, it got reformulated, but doesn't matter because I'm going to always keep this in my collection because this is sexiness in a bottle. That's my number 5, YSL Lanvin alone. My next fragrance is from the house called Tomford. It's from their designer collection. It's Black Orchid. A beautiful juice, guys. Again, this is Not at all for everyone. Let me be very frank with you guys. Do not blind buy this fragrance. Go smell it, give it a go, sample it, or go to a store or smell it or do whatever. Just test before you buy a full bottle. This is a warning. You cannot wear a round neck t-shirt and a jeans and wear this fragrance. You can get comments like you're stinking or what are you wearing? You smell like grandma. You can, get remarks like this. Make sure you dress up well to wear this fragrance. There are fragrances, guys. There are fragrances like that for which you need to be dressed up. You need to wear a proper shirt or a suit, to complement, to complete this juice. A beautiful blend of different kind of notes like chocolate truffle, dark chocolate, lot of spices. It's a very spicy chocolatey fragrance, and of course, a lot of floral notes in it. Beautiful blend, guys. A complex fragrance, so do not, like I said, don't blind buy this. My initial impression was not that good on that fragrance. I took time to like this fragrance. This is now in my top list, so you gotta give it some time to like it. Okay, so that's my number 4, Tom Ford Black Orchid. So my last designer fragrance is, there are so many options, but so you're not going to regret the price you pay for this juice. It's a value for money juice. It is none other than from the house called Lalique. It's Noir. Man, this is niche quality. It's a complete niche quality juice. Okay. A round of applause for the gentleman who has done this juice. Such a nice blend, guys. It's a vetiver based fragrance. It has got a note of black ink. It's a very straight lined fragrance. You will not see ups and downs, top notes, middle notes, or base notes. It more or less smells the same from the opening to the dry down. Very sophisticated, very classy, very niche like. So if you want a fragrance which is different from others, which will distinguish you from the crowd, go for Lalique Noir. That's my last designer fragrance. Now let's get into my top 3 niche fragrances. My number 3 is from the house called Armani. It's from their Privé collection. It's Armani Privé Rose d'Arabie. Now this is a limited edition bottle which I'm going to show you. It has got liquid gold inside the bottle. A truly beautiful looking bottle, guys. It has got a big name, so I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'll write it down somewhere on the screen. Smell wise, it smells very similar to Rose d'Arabie, almost 99% similar. A saffron based fragrance. It is heavy on saffron. It has got oud, and of course it has got rose. See, it's a very harsh fragrance, guys. If you're thinking that it's a very soft kind of rosy, rosy, cute fragrance, you should not make that mistake. A very strong note of saffron, patchouli, oud, rose. So it's a very strong fragrance, and this is even a stronger version of original Rose d'Arabie. It projects like a beast. It's a room filling fragrance, guys. You're into fragrances and you want to buy something daring, something which will fill the room up, which will, which will turn people around and say that, oh, okay, this guy is wearing something classy, then go for Rose d'Arabie. Doesn't matter if you don't get this bottle. This is a limited edition bottle. You just buy the normal Rose d'Arabie bottle. That's my number 3. Okay, my number 2 is from the house called Creed. As you can see, this is a millésime version, which means that this is a vintage bottle. This is a 2016 batch, and I have even got, I'll show you guys, I've even got sample of the recent batch, which is 2020 batch. And if you compare these two, this smells a lot different from this. Okay, now if you want to know how this recent batch smells, this is heavy on the bergamot. This has got a very rich, very expensive bergamot in it in the opening, and with those spices. To be honest, if you talk about the opening, the new batch which is 2020, this smells better than the vintage one, but it stays for only 2 to 3 hours on my skin. I don't know, because I'm using from a sample bottle, I'm getting this poor longevity. I don't know the reason, but it stays for 2 3 hours on my skin. And if you talk about Royal Oud, the vintage one, I heard people say that this is one of the best creeds ever. This is the safest creed out there. Just blind by it. Absolutely no, guys. This is not at all for everyone. This is a very, very mature smelling creed. This is not at all safe. Creed is known to create safe fragrances like Aventus, like Green Irish Tweed, like Silver Mountain Water. But this is not at all safe. A very, very spicy opening. It has got a lot of spices in the opening. There's a prominent note of pink pepper in the opening. There's a note of bergamot. There's a very prominent note of musk in it. And you can smell a very tiny bit of oud in this fragrance. The dry down of this fragrance is very nice. It has got a note of sandalwood towards its dry down, and it is heavenly, guys. See, this is a very, very mature smelling fragrance. I can see a man who's in his 40s pull this off like a king. This smells very expensive. This is obviously one of the best creeds if you can appreciate it. But many people, they don't have the nose to appreciate a fragrance like this. But for me, this is a top-notch juice. My number 2 creed, Royal Oud. This is a vintage version. This is the Millicent one, a vintage one. And longevity, I should tell you, like I said, the newer version, it stays for 2 hours on my skin. This stays for 6 to 7 hours. So my number 2 creed, Royal Oud. So my number 1, I have always loved this fragrance, guys. Till date, this is my top favorite winter fragrance. It is from the house called YSL. It is called Tuxedo. Oh, it makes me weak. It makes me really, really weak, guys. I have heard, I have seen a lot of reviewers say that this is a masculine fragrance, but I would say that this is a bit inclined towards being feminine. See, patchouli is one of my favorite notes. Okay, this is a patchouli heavy fragrance. This has got a prominent note of patchouli. If you love patchouli, you will go crazy for this. It's a very sweet fragrance in the beginning. There's sweetness, there's patchouli, and there's a very prominent note of rose. I get it. The dry down is one of the smoothest dry down I have ever come across in my life. It has got a beautiful base note of vanilla in it, and which will drive you crazy. This is hands down the sexiest winter fragrance ever. So that's my number 1, YSL. So that's it for today, guys. Those were my top 10 most used winter fragrances. Hope you like it. If you like this kind of content, do hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe. Till then, bye, take care, adios.